Just come in a few steps.
That's right. But we'll hand you to our Master of Ceremonies, Peter Cullen. Over to Peter.
Thank you, Chris. We're really looking for another. We've been blessed with a great winner. I'm sure Father Bob McGuire has something to do with that. We'll ask Father Bob to come over. Let's give a very special welcome to the Cardinia Tigers. It's their first grand final. Thanks, boys, for that welcome. And the Tigers, give a big welcome to the Cats. Long-term representation in the Reclink League. One of the great clubs that have come all the way down from Geelong, as you guys have travelled this morning. We have Father Bob McGuire. Let's give him a big welcome.
Go the Pies!
Come and join us at least, Joffa. Joffa will be calling game 2 and game 3. We'll have Dan Lonigan, he's an old friend of Reclink and myself. Chris Lacey is one, and the boys from 97.7. Do be listening in the car on the way home, 3SER. And we're expecting Anthony Hudson shortly. We've got Joffa on the next call, a ripping caller, Joffa. Let's give him another round of applause. We've got the CEO from Reclink Australia, John Ballas, there in the background. And our Shadow Sports Minister, Don Farrell, will toss the coin and will say a few words. So do stay right to the very end for the toss of the coin. We'll now hand it over to Father Bob. Listen to these wise and profound words with a glimpse of humour.
That's the end of that. Joffa's here because he's got more wise ideas than I had, but I'd want to overdo it and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I remember, yeah, to wake up. It was the first thing. And then that's why you get medals, don't they? Tomorrow they get a medal, but what the medal really is a medal for courage and resilience. See? Because you got out of bed, which is what we did years and years ago, you and I. You said, give me that van that you've got, a few seats in it, because I want to go around boarding houses and places. Do you remember that? In the old days, he used to go around, he used to prowl around boarding houses. That's not nice, is it? But that's what we did, because he said, he knew he was onto the bloody formula then, and so still the formula works. You know that better than I do, is that you can build community, make a note, Minister, we can build community one kick at a time, isn't it? That's all he said. We were down Fitzroy Street working flat out like lizards, trying to help people who had decided there was only one way to get through the day, and that was heroin. Which is fair enough. Pain relief, isn't it? Yeah. Pain relief, self-administered. And then he came down and he said, I've got another idea that I reckon if we brought footies down Fitzroy Street, they would choose the kick at the footy to the heroin. Now I think he's right, isn't it? It's taken a long, long time to wake up that all the poor buggers were doing in those days, and I'm speaking with respect because you would have been through this yourself, and you would have known a lot of people who've died, you see, because we couldn't get to them in time with something that would appeal to them, isn't it? So that's why we're here celebrating today life. And the medal tomorrow is not only for winning the grand final, but it's also a medal for each one to have taken a stand personally against the dark side. You see? So each one of you, each one of these becomes a... Do you like that? Yeah, the bloody dark side's out there, heavily resourced. Got all the resources in the bloody universe the dark side has. And here we scratching around, make a note, Minister. Scratching around, because all we need is a couple of $1 million and the dark side disappears. See? Simple formula. And you've got it, Reclink. So congratulations, and also, well, Joffa, you disappeared, Joffa.
You're the man,
No, but he told me, you grew up down here. Didn't you? You told me that. Growing up down here in Garden City, for God's sake, produced the finest flower in Joffa. Look at this. He looks like a flower. Isn't it? Anyway, thanks for having me, because it's nice for an old man to be able to be of some earthly use. Thank you, Father Bob. Stick around for a moment, mate. A very, very special man here, Brian Presnell, was in the choir of Hard Knocks. Just before he does the flag exhibition, one of the opportunities amongst many opportunities of trainers courses, coaching courses, umpiring courses, development days, and of course our medal event that's held out throughout the year, is that people get the opportunity to be an umpire. Brian's taken that on as a recreational work to assist him to be involved in the community, to contribute and to make a bit of income for himself. And that's possible for any of you guys. Show us how you do it, Brian.
All day long you're going to be seeing this, I hope. Yeah.
Brian will also have singing gifts, and we'll get him to do the national anthem. Thank you, Brian.
As everybody has already stated, please go out, have a great, fun day, play with the spirit of Reclink. No arguments, no fights. But stop it by opening the arms. I don't want a part of it, that's what it means. Don't be a part of the wrecking machine, be a part of the building machine, and that's what Reclink stands for. It stands for building spirit. It stands for taking away mental health problems. Everything I've worked for in the 18 years I've been with Reclink, I have achieved awesome stuff. You all can too. You can all put it in front of you and say, it's there because of Reclink. It's there because I challenged myself and I went for gold. Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With gold and soul and wealth for all, our home is good by sea. Our land abounding nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing. Advance We now have the coin toss. We'll ask the senator to just perhaps say a word. All right, thanks, Peter. And I think everything's just about been said. You've got a magnificent day. You couldn't want for a better day to play an AFL match. And I just want to wish all the best to the two teams, and the Cats and the Tigers, and may the best team win. Yes. Winners, mate. Heads, it is the Cats. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Carroll. The Cats have won the toss. We're on the way. We'll call it over to our callers.
36 years ago. Welcome. Hello, usually you're always on time, aren't you? Just get your cans on.
Thank you, Dan. Yes, I'm very punctual.
And the game's on the way here, boys. Do you always get there at 5 o'clock for your show with Danny Froy? Or you always wait? Oh, yeah, just right on the money, don't you? Hello.
That's it.
I've got the team sheets here. We've got Cardinia Cats in the Geelong colours, which you'll be happy about.
Very happy with that.
We've got the other Cardinia from the south.
No, I'm on board the Cats today. You can barrack for the Tigers if you like, Dan.
Oh, well, I want the Bulldogs to be there, but they're not. Winbay play later. Oh, they play tomorrow, I think. Yeah, the
Doggies?
Bulldogs. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Bulldogs, yeah.
They're wearing Bulldogs colours,
They
aren't
are. Yeah, absolutely. The old school Bulldogs colours, the old Footscray colours, which is great.
And so, look, this is great match here. The Cardinia Cats have been in the comp for a long time, but this is the first season for the Tigers, with a big support from Cardinia Council to get this team up off the ground, as well as Windana, which is a great community organisation supporting people who are recovering from addiction. And so, and what a beautiful day it is today, boys. Great day for footy.
Magnificent day for footy. I feel I might pull the boots on myself.
You'd be more than welcome to, mate.
Well, actually, I'll tell you later. I'm going to potentially have the opportunity on the weekend to pull the boots on for the first time in about 25 years. But
Where are you playing?
I'm just not sure if I'm going to or not. No, it's just
How's the body?
a school dad's game of footy, so we'll see whether we get involved in that or not. But the forecast is not very good for the day, so that might be a bit dissuade me. But it looks like the play is pretty congested out there at the moment, but the free kick has been picked out to go the way of the Tigers.
Yes, I've got the two team sheets here, Hutto. I'm not
But that doesn't she doesn't have a number on, so it's very hard to know who that was. But getting it in there, and again over the boundary line, they're just very tactically astute here, just bottling it up in that forward pocket there.
I think it'll be a low-scoring game, Hutto. We've been playing a couple of minutes, and the Tigers obviously looking to try and win their first premiership and their first year in the competition. And as we've spoken earlier, it's just wonderful that they're out there playing footy, having a good time, and we know that football is so important to so many people. As the Cats get a little kick out towards the halfback flank on the outer side, they can't get complete control of the footy, and again it continues to be bottled up on that outer side here at the beautiful Murphy Reserve in Port Melbourne, just down the road from the North Port Oval. And now the Cats can break it out, Hutto, and they can kick towards the broadcast side of the ground, and Mark taken on the wing right in front of our broadcast position on KCFM, and in short the mark is taken, and
they're just refusing to turn their jumpers.
Yeah, well, that's how we can see who they are at this stage. But
that was Michael Robinson who just centred it there for the Cats, and good scramble for the ball about 35 metres out from their goal. They've locked it in the forward half, and the umpire might have called just as Darty Pale got up, and he's going to call for a bounce.
So the players, just so you know, fellas, the players wearing vests are either female players or players who are playing with a disability. So if they can't get tackled, great. If they get two hands on the ball, they get a free kick.
Fantastic.
So just to let you know, that's why there's a few players around there in the yellow or the orange vest.
That is excellent, and it's good that it enables them to play, and
absolutely
gives everyone a chance to just get the joy of getting out there on a beautiful day as the Tigers get the ball through Lockie. Number 8 takes it up along the wing, but Cats are going to equal the numbers there. The famous number 54, Josh the Hoog, comes through with the ball for the Cats, but
who's the most famous number 54 you know, Hutto? Let's play the game.
Josh the Hoog.
Obviously Sean Wren, 52.
Yes.
It's a good question. 54 is stretching it, isn't it?
It is a little bit. Mark Cullen of the Bulldogs wore 54 many moons ago. He played about 25 games for the Dogs.
Yeah, find someone good.
Not all that well. 25 more than me,
I think Josh the Hoog's getting covered.
And talking about Josh the Hoog, he's got the footy again, but he sort of turns it over in the middle of the ground, and there's a bit of a battle as both sides going hard. And at this stage, as far as I can see, there's no score yet. And the scoreboard is tucked in the left forward pocket at the Westgate.
We do have Brad Boundary riding. He's got a better angle on the scoreboard often. Brad, you out there, mate? Has there been any scores so far?
I certainly am here, but I don't think the scoreboard has been troubled yet. It mightn't be for a while, Chris.
It's a bit of a wrestle on, mate. Although the Cats have kicked it long into the forward. Got a man in the goal square.
Michael Robinson, he's everywhere at the moment. He's taken the mark in the goal square, and just as you both see we're getting no score, we're going to have a goal.
Always confident in the Reclink players, mate. Often open, free-flowing, playing football. He's going to have a chance to pop it through, and he does. Well done. The first score on the board to the Cats. And this is a small ground here, guys. So there's 40-metre lines that we can't really see here in the sunlight, but there are 40-metre lines. So what we found yesterday is that the teams that got the breakaway of the middle quickly and kicked it long often did the best. So that was a great bit of play.
Would they play junior footy here, Chris? Do you know?
They do, yeah. So this is the home ground of the Port Melbourne Colts.
Right.
Their senior team
plays
plays
over there. Okay.
But they're prepping that for turf cricket already. So we're asked not to play over there. And I think they've got their grand finals maybe this weekend playing on this ground. So.
Well, yeah, they've got it's a Southern League, of course. The Port Melbourne Colts are in.
Yep.
So it's knocked down by Darty Pale. He got up a mile there, didn't he? And he ends up with the football, and the Cardinia Cats looking a bit better at the moment. The hand pass from Brendan Nicholson got run down. He gets it back at half back. Kicks long towards the wing. Went through the fingers on that occasion of Wayall. and it goes towards the boundary. It's kept alive, though, by the Tigers, and that's Daniel. He kicks towards half forward, and the Tigers have possession again, and this is Luke in towards centre half forward, but cleared by the Cardinia Cats with the K. That is Geelong towards the half forward line. And again, a hurried boot to ball comes out, and Waiola's got it, and he can run now. He can see from 25 metres, and he just slews it off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. But that looked exciting.
Tim Kelly in the number 11 there for the Cats, just streaming forward.
Yeah, he got excited there. He was away. Gee, he looked good running too, didn't he? He looks like a player.
Could be the preview of this year's grand final between the Cats and the Tigers.
Oh, good luck. They're going to play a bit better, Hutto. Mind you, their top six we know are outstanding. It's their bottom six that we keep talking about.
Whoever wins out chance, I reckon, of making it.
I agree. Absolutely agree. Melbourne really should have finished top four. They're much better than fifth on the ladder, in my opinion, anyway. For what it's worth, Hutto.
No, it's worth as much as the next bloke. It's just bugger all, let's be honest, from all of us.
Right.
Shane Baker. Should have left it into the right. He's kicked it off the outside of the boot for a goal. Baker!
He was the guy that actually kicked it long before to set up the first goal, of course, to Nicholson. So he's got a bit of class about him.
Yeah.
He's a solidly built player in the middle of the ground, Hutto.
My boys are going very nicely here.
Yes, they are. Thought you'd be happy about that.
Couple of goals on the board.
There's not a lot of left boots out there, is there?
No, there's not.
Lots of check side snaps.
Just for balance only, the old left leg.
I was just thinking before about the high numbers. We used to get a lot more of those in the old days with reserves.
No doubt. Yeah, and even when the under-19s had to play up,
yes,
they'd often have a club Guernsey as well. They'd have one that they won the under-19s, and then when if they played in the reserves, that'd be number 60 or.
Because I think my first ever Bombers jumper, my dad bought me from the factory. I think was number 51 or something, and we took the one off, and we made it number 5 for Terry Danaher.
Okay,
my hero back then. I got to meet him yesterday, which was good fun here at the Grand Finals. He came along.
Shocking bloke, Terry. Really,
How are you, mate? Yeah, good on you, mate.
He's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
Amazing family, obviously, and look, it was great to see Neil and Terry out pushing the Freeze MND cause too of late.
Yeah, he's a great man, Neil. This towards Waiola again. He couldn't quite take the mark for the Cardinia Cats inside 40. Hand pass comes out from Daniel, misses the target though. Player goes down. I reckon that has to nearly be a free kick to go the way of Reece Hawking.
I thought there was a little bit of...
he's played
the advantage.
Good mark though by the Tigers, last line of defence, and that's a high kick coming out from Daniel towards Baker again, who bursts his way through. He's a big man, Hutto, but he tries to take on too many.
This time.
Has to be holding the ball.
He's cooked that time, the Baker.
Boom, boom.
Good on you,
First
Hutto.
punt of the day. Thank you, Hutto.
Happy to ask.
Yeah, no, won't be.
Just off the ball a bit there.
Now I know your brother quite well, Anthony Phil.
Ah, right, yes.
Yeah.
Younger or older brother?
Older brother.
Yeah. So I've been involved with him around Footscray and Sunshine, where he's living these days. I think. Is he
Yeah,
out that way?
Coburg now.
Coburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's moved. There you go.
Got married and.
So shout out to Phil if he's out there listening.
Yeah.
And all the Hudson clan, and the Lonergan clan, no doubt too.
Yeah, I've got two younger brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, good mark here at half forward for the Cats.
He's got some ink, this fella too. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Reece Hawking.
Jeez, he's looking good there.
Not to be confused with Tom Hawkins.
Good kick too.
All the way to full forward.
Going to the All-Australian tonight,
I am going. I'm not sure if I'll make the team or not, Dan.
Right.
I just didn't quite kick as many goals as last year. That's off hands. Not quite through for a goal. The Cats still on the boundary. Went for the Stevie J there, Reece Hawking. Across the body. Back into the goal square. Oh, this is better play for the Tigers.
Kick towards the outer side.
They're away here.
There they are, just momentarily.
Just needs to get over the top. No.
And
Held up.
they've got an opportunity now to kick towards the outer side again, but the Cardinia Cats do well to see it over the boundary line, and that's Terry Gillard. And he did well on that occasion, opposed to Adam A, and it'll be thrown back into play. It's knocked down again, and on that occasion it's taken by Darty Parl of the Cardinia Cats, but he can't get clean possession. It goes over the boundary on that outer side at half forward. And it's been a good start by the Cardinia Cats. 2 straight 12-0 for the Cardinia Tigers. And the Cardinia Cats at Geelong, of course. The Cardinia Tigers from out in the southeastern suburbs.
let's just call them the Cats and the Tigers. Though.
Yeah, I think
Confuse
so.
ourselves.
Yeah, I think so. We'll do that.
Because otherwise we'll do our heads in, I think. And a big shout out to the umpires out there today. We've got the legend John Corrales out there. I think he's got the control of the game at the moment. And Norman Maguire. He wants us to make it clear that he's no relation to Eddie. And goal umpire, I've got David Pearce down this end in the orange. G'day, David, who actually coordinates all the goal umpire for us for the 3 days, which is great. He's from the EDFL.
Right.
And Brian Presnell, the man of many talents.
Have we got the video working for the goal umpires for today? Can they refer?
That's right, absolutely, mate. Absolutely, comes back to my phone.
He sung the national anthem, Brian, of course. He's outstanding.
Yeah, he's a man of many talents, Brian Presnell, and he does like us to give him a mention too. So I've got that over the way early in the game, which is great.
That's a beautiful kick by Darty Pale. Took a good mark last line of defence for the Cats. Ball is on that outer side, and here's an opportunity now for them to get away. They wriggle out of a tackle and kick towards half forward. Hawking again has been very, very good and couldn't take the mark and tried to control it at ground level, but out of bounds on that outer side.
So you guys ever played any footy here at the Colts ground?
No.
They're out of the way for you guys?
I tried to play reserves footy, and I said tried to at the Otway Districts in the Coal Lake District Football League. But I cost the team a spot in the finals. They're going to kick a goal here, I think, but they missed running into an open goal, and that was Waiall, who's been pretty good. He took a good mark and didn't steady from 25 metres. No, there was one famous story. The Otway Districts had two grounds, Carlisle River and Jellybrand, and Carlisle River would have been a better ground to play, but they didn't have any change rooms. So we played at Jellybrand. It was a very, very wet winter, 1993, and I had the footy, and I got absolutely stuck. I'm talking bogged in the mud, holding the ball, and they got a goal over the one by 1 point. Out on the finals.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, you can imagine.
No one held on to that. No one would have held on to that.
Yeah, well, you can imagine it being me, Hutto. You know me well enough to know that football's not one of my strong points playing.
Yeah, well, 94 was my last season for the, as they were then, the Uni Reds. So,
they're now Victoria,
yeah. Played out of Brunswick Oval.
Beautiful ground.
Which was a Brunswick Street Oval, which was a magnificent oval. Apart from it was quite a popular dog walking venue, which meant there was a bit of extra dodging and weaving that needed to go on, particularly
a few nuggets.
Yeah, a few nuggets. But here's a chance again for Baker. Oh, in the pocket. He's loving this banana shots at goal, but he just can't nail them at the moment. We need to check the score because we can't see it from here.
They've been watching Cam Rayner, haven't they? Yeah, it's
the Cats are 2-1-13 and the Tigers yet to score.
Thanks, Brad. Brad down, our boundary rider.
Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Looking after us. Yeah, I'm a president of the Junior Football Club, and I think my West Footscray Footy Club.
Here's Baker. That's a great goal. Terrific stoppage, snapped over the shoulder. Pretty good player.
He's pretty handy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very good. Very good.
And I think my key role is picking up the dog nuggets every Sunday morning. You know, it sounds really glamorous, but really it's getting out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning and going and making sure that
doesn't sound that glamorous doing that.
Making sure the kids, don't wear one when they get tackled. So, but look, Cats are starting to get away a little bit here. And,
yeah, they are.
The Tigers will want to get a clearance, but as we saw yesterday, you can't score quickly. With their last game yesterday, I think they got out to a 4-goal lead in the first quarter, ended up coming down. I think it was decided by 3 or 4 points towards the end. So you can get a few goals in a hurry, but the Cats are getting another clearance out of the middle here, and he's gone long, deep into the pocket, and it's bounced just inside the boundary line. And so it'll be a throw in. We've got the Xavier College boys running the boundary for us today. G'day, fellas. They come out and help us out each day, which is great.
Day off school for them. They're not going to complain about that, are they?
No, my old school.
And your old teacher's here too.
Yeah, Peter Ryan.
Yeah. He's a good friend of Reclink's. Oh, that's a good snap.
Baker again.
Bent too far.
Yep.
And I think it's gone across the face in the end and out for a boundary throw in. So we're deep in the Cats' forward line once again. It's been down here for most of the quarter, to be honest.
Yeah, the change rooms into the ground, or Port Melbourne into the ground, whichever way you want to look at it.
How many AFL executives were at school when you were there, Dan?
No, they always say Simon Leslie went to Xavier. He didn't. He actually went to Camberwell Grammar, but he coached the old Zavs footy team.
He did, yeah.
And that's his connection. Andrew Gowers was in my year.
Yeah.
His son Billy, of course, at the Dogs, and he played at Brisbane and Hawthorn. Luke O'Sullivan, who's the uncle of Dan Hanbury, he was in my year as well.
Yeah.
The Rhino. There were a a couple of others. Andrew Liancelli, a couple of years below me. Not too many AFL. Oh, Andrew Dillon.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dillon. Baker. Bang!
Yeah,
Big kick.
that's a massive
He's got it.
Ring a ding ding. The Sunbury Rotary Club goal today. And the Sunbury Rotary Club are here rolling the snags for us today. So big shout out to Paul and the gang.
Yeah, anytime good time for a snag.
That's right,
Anytime.
absolutely. And we've got Little Birdie, who are a social enterprise cafe from Geelong, who are up doing the coffees. Dan and I have got a coffee here.
That's a real team spirit about this.
You weren't here, mate. You weren't here on
a little bit late, mate. So, but we will get you on. What's your order, mate? What's your order?
Just a latte.
Just a latte for Anthony, if we can get one sorted.
Put a latte set. No almond milk or any crap that Dan probably
I
has.
haven't got almond milk. I don't mind a skinny occasionally, Hutto. Skinny or normal, that's fine. No almond milk.
Long black's the way to go, boys.
Oh,
keep it clean.
That would just about knock my head off, I think. It's knocked out of the centre. Here's a chance for the Cats through Brendan Nicholson, who's had a bit of the footy. They're just dominating at the moment. High ball towards half forward. And the Xavier boys are coming.
Yeah, they're coming.
Hutto's going to get one. Thank you, boys. And it's at half forward.
How many Xavier boys does it take to carry one cup of coffee? That's what I want to know.
They move in packs, these Xavier boys. They move in packs. It's pretty different the old Blackie Tech days, mate, which is where I went, Blackburn Tech. You went as solo as possible in those days.
It's quarter time here, boys. Let's check the score.
Brad, can we go down to you, mate, on the sideline?
Yeah, the Cats are 4-1-25 at quarter time, and the Tigers didn't score.
Tough one for the Tigers there, but as I said yesterday, we did see some teams who went down early come back in the match. What are your thoughts on the game, guys?
Cats had a very strong breeze in that opening term, no doubt.
No, very impressive performance, and it's good that the Tigers are out there. They'll obviously regroup in the second quarter and obviously try and improve and play better football.
And Brad, we might actually ask you to go into the Cats huddle, mate, and see what we can hear from the coach there. We can come down to that earlier. But is there a breeze out there, mate?
No, there's nothing. Hutto's probably right. It's probably about 8 goals to the right of the radio.
How good a day is it? It's just, if you can't play footy today, son, you can't play footy.
That's right. No, that's exactly right.
Just remember when I go into the huddle, it's family-friendly station.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Should be okay out there, Brad. It's not...
We got a delay. It's okay, Brad. I know we don't.
That was really good. What a great start to the grand final.
Great.
All right. We looked like we lost our composure a little bit early on, but once we settled, we're all over him. All over him. All right. Now, Josh is still doing a great job down there.
Josh's doing great stuff.
The option is, when Joshy gets it, he can't kick it 30, 40 metres, so he did the right thing.
We know that, boys. Listen.
So the option is, look for the handball off him. Just be aware. Don't rush the kick. You just go back to the Josh and say, somebody who can kick it, what he says. Somebody who can kick it, just get in behind and get that handball out the back. Alright?
Only usually if it's on, mate.
Crazy. Get on the boot a bit quicker, mate. You get the footy a lot, but sometimes you hold on it just a bit too long. So I want you to get it forward. We attack the goal face, we're all over him. There's nothing like pressure in the forward line. No, that's when we don't know what to do. When it's coming in quick and attack the goal face, they shoot themselves. Great work in the ruck there, Daggy.
Good, Daggy!
Alright. Bates. Excellent quarter,
real
mate.
Good, Bates, real good.
Really good effort. Now, Zua, I know you missed a couple of goals, mate. It doesn't matter. You're doing exactly the right thing. You're playing attacking footy. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. It'll come off. Well, guys, that's only one quarter. We've got 3 to go. Quarter at a time. We've got this quarter to win. Okay? Let's get out there and do the job.
And Brad, we just got Paul Roos out there, mate, just to your left. So I might just get you to grab him for a minute.
He's just gone into the huddle. How good was that, listening into the huddle?
Yeah, terrific.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Good positive words. And
Are you backing each other up? Yeah! Are you looking out for each other? We'll go out and do it again.
That's great.
Joffa at his best, mate.
Yeah, he's great, Joffa. Very good for Reclink and just very good for local footy and a great story. Just loves that football club, Hutto, doesn't he? The Collingwood Footy Club. He just loves them.
He does. Yeah. Good to see Roosie down here. Give us a wave, Roosie.
He's focused in on catching the Pete Cullen. but they'll have to jump on the ground. We'll get Brad to head over there and have a say good day.
He never gets over the Westgate Bridge, Roosie, but this is about as close as he gets to it.
Who's saying that?
Oh, I live in Williamstown, beautiful part of the world.
I got him here, boys.
Thanks,
You
Brad.
got any questions for him?
Rosie, good to have you with us. Nice day for footy. Even at your age, mate, you'd love to be out there, wouldn't you?
It's a beautiful day. I might actually sneak into halfback flank in the next game.
You wouldn't have an opponent, Rosie,
What
anyway.
about you, Hutto? You'd come out of the commentary box and play, will you?
I'd be happy to, but yeah.
Get out with the real people. Don't sit in there.
How are you handling this game? They've kicked 4 goals in 1 quarter. That's a little bit too much for you, isn't it?
No, I love the defensive aspect of the game. They've kept them to 0. That's great. That's very pro. Tackling and chasing.
How good is it? This is what our game does, though, isn't it? It gives everyone a chance to play. And I think what Peter Cullen's done over a lot of period of time is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? It's great, the involvement and the participation. We all know what footy brings, the teamwork and mateship and all those things that are really important. So it's not just at the highest level, it's grassroots. And it's a great day, and they've certainly turned the weather on too.
Yeah, certainly have. What are you thinking? Your Demons, how far do you think your Demons are going to go, mate?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great week of first finals, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to pick a winner in any of the games. So that game's going to be an absolute ripper. It's been 2 good games already this year. So, yeah, hoping the Demons... Look, both teams are going in super confident, aren't they? So hopefully the D's win.
So I feel like whoever wins that game is going to have a pretty decent chance of going a fair way, I reckon.
Yeah, I think Richmond's best is probably a tad better than everyone's at the moment, but all those other games and injuries, and I think it's going to be a really, really exciting final series.
Have they been protecting themselves a bit, Rosie, Richmond, unintentionally, do you think?
Yeah, a little bit. The scary thing for the rest of the comp is they're probably playing at about 80%, so they've got some huge upside. So if they really... And look, this year, they've got confidence. They know they can win it, whereas last year, they were going in the finals, but they needed to because they weren't sure where they could get to. They now know where they can get to, so I think they're in real good nick.
Great to see you down here, Rosie. I'm sure everyone really appreciates it.
Thanks, Rosie.
Good on you, Rosie.
Paul Roos, magnificent premiership coach, of course, for the Sydney Swans, and he's done a lot of great work with the Demons as well. But he really hates attacking footy, Rosie. He only likes really good defensive football.
Oh, I think Melbourne were becoming attacking, weren't they?
Yeah, once Goody took over, then they started to attack.
A little bit, but...
No, only joking.
I know what you're saying, but in his first year, his job, of course, was to stop them from bleeding, and they were just conceding so many points.
What he did was coach the club, didn't he? I mean, that's what he did, an incredible job of coaching the club and turning it around with the culture and everything, and it's just fantastic to see them play finals footy. So many Melbourne supporters are really excited about it.
I think my most vivid memory was early days, people were critical of him that he was a bit reluctant, and I think that was harsh. When they beat Adelaide, and it was a low-scoring game, and they just closed Adelaide down, and to see his delight in the box, I think that told everyone, hang on, this guy's in it for the long haul, and he is invested in this. There's a shot at goal here for the Cats.
Second quarter underway.
Yeah, and they've kicked a goal, so
into
they
the
increase their lead. Yeah, into this massive freeze. 5-1-31.
Well, I thought
thought
the other end was the scoring end, but it looks like it might be this end. But yeah, look, that's 5 goals up. That's going to be tricky for the Tigers to come back from. They're going to have to get a wriggle on.
Just wondering, there was 5 of the Xavier boys.
Well, they're going to come back.
Checking on their progress. Have
I'll get coffee.
Have a coffee.
There's a bit of a queue over at Little Birdie.
So see how he's coming forward, number 5. So he's coming out the front of the stoppage. So we're the mid, not the centre. Right? We're going to stand directly behind the runway. You're going to stand there. You're going to stand there on the centre. So all of a sudden, we've got our wings coming in. Okay, get the centre bounce. Steady boy! Richard sent me over for you. Alright, does that make sense? So that way, when he's flicking the ball out to the side, the wingman should be able to attack that footy there. And then that number 5 is not going to be able to come straight through the context, is he? Does that make sense? All right, so let's really focus. I reckon if we can get our centre bounces right, we should be able to get in the game a bit better. Okay. Does everyone understand that? Who wants to have a go on the wing? Who can run that position? All right, coach for the wing. Come off the wing? You want to put me in there for a bit? Yeah, no worries at all. This will spin. Yeah, the one that's kicking on goals. So just watch him as he's coming through. What you want to do is force him to go backwards at the centre bounce. Okay, so so we've got some people with yeah, Daniel, that's really good, mate. You guys are both really quick. Alright. So remember they're going this way, yep. Now Daryl and Daniel, you're going to get behind on the wing there. And who's going to be in the centre? Luke, Lockie, and who's going to do our run?
I've been doing it last quarter.
I'm going to go in.
I'll tell you what to do, the ruckman. You don't even need to go up. You see how tall he is. You can't compete against. So what you want to do is watch where he's going to hit it. All right, so if I'm the ruckman, I'm going to come in like this. I'm just going to keep my eye on him. Wherever he hits it,
Go to that.
you go straight. You go
I did that. Tried to do that a couple of times.
Yeah, so that way we've got another ground level
Around the
player.
ground, I'm just grabbing him so he can't jump.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But in that centre.
And everyone just watch where he's hitting it so we can get numbers to that area there. Okay?
Let's just play.
Okay, then maybe 3/4 time we can.
Yeah, we'll look at it.
Okay. Alright, so we'll keep as is. Alright.
3, 6, 9, 12. We've got how many are in? They got a full team?
Yeah, it's 18.
Yeah,
So we can control the centre bounce a bit. Just get it forward nice and quick.
Hey, Adam, you back on okay to ruck?
Come on, bring him in.
Come on, bring it in, guys.
Come in.
Bring him, boy.
Listen up. Thing is, if you're not tired, then get the fuck off the field, because then you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Right? It's that simple. If you don't want to play, let someone else play.
I'll sit on the side.
Attack the fucking ball. Like, that's the biggest thing. The ball's rolling around. Everyone's just standing there waiting for the ball to come to them. Go in there and get it. Right? I'm gonna box my ass up off in there. I'm expecting everyone else to back me up, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna box my ass up. Say how great it is for us to have you involved, and also I'm sure you've got a lot of thoughts on health, and we're seeing this as a health-based program as well, and I believe your wife and son have a bit of a vision as a family around health, and I don't know if you want to share a little bit.
Yeah, look, we've started the Bruce Men's Wellness and Leadership Club actually. So, yeah, I don't think it matters where it is, if it's an AFL club or families, you know, it's just health. Getting out, as you mentioned, my wife's a meditation teacher, my son's a health coach. I've been in leadership and sporting positions all my life. So,
Gee, that's a great combination.
yeah, it is. So we've started the Bruce Men's Wellness and Leadership Club, and challenging leaders to think more about themselves, their health, but also the people they work with. So the ability for these people to get out, run around, get out in the sun, you know, enjoy each other's company. It is all about health and well-being.
Paul, I spoke to a sports psychologist at an AFL club, and she said she won't counsel people, I take it that they had depression or anxiety, unless they have what she called movement and affiliation. And I think that's what Reclink brings. I presume she's saying belonging and movement we see as, you know, actually for some of our people just to get here can be, as Father Bob McGuire alluded to, can be a bit of an achievement in itself.
Oh, absolutely. I'm certainly not an expert in psychologist, but what I do know is the more you move, the more you're engaged, the more your life. It's not just about any one thing. We used to tell our players to get there off field. So we're a very healthy organisation. Everyone's running, everyone's going to the gym. But equally, if you're doing that, you need to make sure your family's well. You need to make sure you're studying. So it's not just about any one particular thing. It's about creating a really well-balanced lifestyle.
And maybe getting your mind off worries or things that, you know, I've heard players say when they're in the moment and they've got that ball, they don't have a worry in the world. But for an AFL player, this may be different.
Yeah, it is a bit different. I mean, obviously, for AFL guys, it's their job sort of thing. So, you know, they spend a lot of time. But when you're coming out here, yeah, it's easy to forget your worries. And it's the same for everyone. If you go for a run around the tan, or if you go for a swim down the beach or whatever, you're in that moment. You're thinking about what you're doing at any one particular time. I think that's the great thing about exercise. Equally, when you're coming down here, you might find someone that's got a similar problem. So suddenly you're sharing it, you're not carrying that yourself. I think everyone feels alone at times, but if you can share it with a friend or mates, that's the great thing about footy clubs. You know? When people find out about other people's problems, they wrap their arms around them and they help them.
Yeah. We find that there's an affinity with our people with different issues. It might be mental health, they might be struggling with homelessness. There is a sort of a mutual sort of understanding that can be therapeutic.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And again, it doesn't matter what level of footy clubs.
footy clubs and sport is about people getting together. The game's the vehicle. It just happens to be a fun game to play and it's exciting, but the vehicle is football. It's community, it's discussion, it's talk, it's having a laugh during the game, after game at training, and all those things bring us together.
Yeah. And we're hoping going forward too, we have our sport which draws people, and the Power of Australian rules, a huge cultural power. Seems to remind a lot of people of their better life memories, might bring people back to sport or to sport. Going forward, I think there's so much opportunity on what you can wrap around the sport, who you can bring people like yourself who can bring health messages, or somebody can say this is where the work opportunities are, this is what we need to be aware of health. And while you've got people, you can provide these extra awarenesses.
Yeah, look, I think you're in a privileged position, certainly having been involved in footy for years, and I think we are role models, and people do look up to, whether you're a Collingwood supporter, looking up to Scotty Pendlebury, Nathan Buckley. So I think our ability to transfer information is really good. So, all AFL players, we hear a lot about the negative side of AFL players, but a lot of, as you've seen down here, a lot of AFL guys do a lot of really good things for the community, and this is one huge part of it.
And they can make a massive difference. We had Tom and Ed Phillips here yesterday. Young fellas particularly can mean a lot. We've had a great history with retired coaches, Paul. We had Alan Jeans as our patron for many years. The memories of his talks are still talked about because he had a great gift for that.
Yeah, and fundamentally we've all come from the junior footy club, a community footy club. That's where we all come from. The Phillips boys and Beverly Hills boys, that's where I come from.
That's right.
So we all come from the same area. We all come from a community. We all come from a family. We all play other sports as well when we're growing up. So fundamentally, we're all connected at some level. We just go and all do different things. So the ability to come back and send a consistent message is great.
Thanks, Paul. Great to have you here. Thanks very much.
No worries.
Appreciate
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for
Cafe, big shout out to Little Birdie.
Where's that? Is that in Port Melbourne, is it?
No, they're from Norlane, and it's Norlane Community Initiatives. They're a social enterprise from the Northern Geelong there, and my old workplace, Urban Seed, got them started a few years ago. So welcome to them, but check them out online if you want a coffee van at your event. I'm sure they'd be looking to hear from you.
Yeah, we just duck down to Norlane for a coffee.
They might come up though. They might come up the highway, mate. So, but yeah, duck down. It's a beautiful part of the world, obviously, Norlane.
Yeah.
If you keep your eyes shut.
Thank you, Chris. I've been past it. I haven't actually been in it yet.
For those that don't know Norlane, it's where the big water slide is as you come in from the northern side of Geelong. That's Norlane there. Yeah. But there is a game of footy on here.
And the Tigers, easy coffee, Hutto. Boys. Yes, you can stop whinging now. The balls.
You spilled a bit, but
good on you, Hutto, you lunatic. He is commentary rules. He expects it all on a platter. It's a boundary thrown on the outer side of the ground. Josh de Hoog was trying to get control of the footy in the long sleeves for the Cats.
We had George Daniki in here yesterday, which was fantastic. Yeah. And speaking of commentary royalty, he was in here with...
was it like Cardinia won?
That's right.
Tigers.
With the greatest respect to George, did anyone get a word? And we all love the sound of our own voice, but George does love the sound of his own voice.
Yeah.
I mean that in a very nice way, of course, if you can say that.
Sounds like it.
Yes, thanks, Hutto. Reek couldn't get boot to ball for the Cats.
Well, we had Tony Shebeki in here too, so I didn't have a lot to say yesterday
afternoon. People who love the sound of their own voice.
There's another one. Good on you, Shebeki, one of the great men.
Yep. And a great supporter of Reclink. He called the first ever Reclink Grand Final Series from the roof.
How many years have you been doing for?
27 years of the Grand Final Series, I think.
27?
Years. That's right, and 30 years of footy.
Is that right?
That's right, yeah. So it's been going for a while now. And
he would have been a teenager, Shebeki, so wouldn't he be early 20s?
No, he would have been about 40, I reckon.
Well, he and Pete Cullen used to work together at Bulldog Radio.
Yeah, so did I. 1995 I was there for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's where he cut his teeth. So I think that's where Pete was even back then was pulling everyone he could together to support this great league.
With two great broadcasters, late great broadcasters. One of them Ian Major.
Harry Bott.
Oh no, Harry was gone by then, but Ian Major and John Waters, who worked at the ABC for a long, long time. Lovely bloke. Yeah, you'd know him if you... he worked at Channel 7, he worked at Channel 10.
Another goal here, boys, as the football game continues during our storytelling. That's another goal to the Cats.
To the Cats.
And that was another check side that snapped from the pocket. And I didn't quite see who scored it, I'm afraid.
6-1, 37 to nothing.
And the Tigers might need to put one behind the ball here, boys. Don't know how you're feeling about it, but...
Roosy'd have a couple on.
Roosy'd have the whole team behind the ball.
At this stage, I reckon Roosie should put on a Tigers jumper and just sort of sit in the sort of half-back line there. Although I remember him playing for Fitzroy as a centre-half forward.
Yeah, how did David Parkin describe him? A loose kick-chasing centre-half back, which I think was and Parko's often told that story in his depreciative way, the way Parko talks about himself and talks about the game in general. I mean, he's it was always a great pleasure working with David Parkin as the Tigers get a hoe boot to ball and they have the ball on the wing, and he always said that Roosie was a bit loose, but he's a good player. He could read it. And too many that could read it better than him.
Tried to break the tackle, but did not too high.
Too high.
John
From the commentary box against Pale, Darty Pale. And a high kick comes from... magnificent mark. Jack Revolt. Lockie, number 8 for the Tigers, takes the mark about 30 metres out. That was a screamer.
Just take your time, Lockie. And,
bit of Disco Roach about that as well.
Yes, there was.
Big chance for the Tigers' first goal here, Dan.
Be wonderful for them. Bit of confidence building.
I think he's popped the three.
Got it.
He has.
Split the middle. Well done, Lockie. Well done, Tigers. First score on the board. And, they just worked their way up the wing. They had a bit of patience and then obviously a bit of brilliance at the end there with that mark. So, a good passage of play.
Well, they needed it. I was very impressed with the coach at quarter time of the Cats. What impressed me too was that he didn't swear, not that many of them do nowadays, but it was all about just getting the message across. Been involved a bit in local footy this year, guys, and there's been a bit too much swearing from some of the coaches. Shane Baker bursts out of the middle, and from 40 metres, that is magnificent. Great goal by Baker. He got met late, but he still got boot to ball as the Cats put their 7th goal on the board, 7-1, 43 to the Tigers, 1 straight 6. That was excellent play by the big bull, Shane Baker, number 3 of the Cats.
And he's a decent-sized unit, and the player from the Tigers who tried to bump him as he kicked it has ended up worse for wear, and he's now lying on the side, on his back. So he's a big unit, and that was a great kick, just bursting out of the middle. And so, what do you think? What's in store for the finals coming up, boys? What's your predictions in the first week? Hutto?
Oh yeah, well, it's a fantastic first week of footy, isn't it?
Yep.
It really is. I think Richmond will be too good for Hawthorn, but I guess you can never
They've done well, Hawthorn.
be sure with Clarko.
He's a genius, isn't he?
I think they could worry them, but I can't see Richmond losing. Geelong and Melbourne is a toss-up. As I said, I think whoever wins that game can go places because they'll most likely play Hawthorn the next week, and I don't think either of those sides would fear playing Hawthorn. And then they'd swap over and potentially play West Coast or Collingwood in the preliminary final. So,
and the Cats are an interesting one. I think Chris reckons he's got a game plan for the Tigers.
Yeah,
I remember that last time they played.
They still didn't win though.
No, they didn't. No, but he felt like they weren't far away. So.
I like the Bulldogs' game plan better than what they did on the weekend against them. Yeah, I think that's the way to play them this year.
They probably should have won the Dogs in the end. They hit the post a couple of times in the last quarter.
You possess the ball as much as possible, but you keep moving. You've got to keep the ball moving fast, possess it, and then once you get past the middle, you just get it in there, but not high. You've got to get it in there, either hit up or low on the ground, because they just feast off the high ball. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see if any team can get close to them in September. Cats are attacking here.
Yeah, well, Baker got a free kick. He lost control of it, and then he tackled his Tigers' opponent and kicked towards half forward, and Parr couldn't quite hang on to the mark on that outer side. Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting game. I think the Sydney Giants game will be fascinating as well. It just depends how many Giants players can come back.
Well, I don't see either of those.
Can I get 18 guys on the field? That's the problem.
That's a big specky. I don't see either of those two teams featuring late in September as Brendan Nicholson fires it in deep. And Cats still with a chance. Screwing it back at goal was Michael Robinson. Not a bad shot, but it hasn't quite made the distance. And the Cats, Billy Brownless's number down there. Brad Love wearing that, screws it back, and he's put it through for a goal. Lovely.
We might go down to a score check, Brad. Can you give us an update there, mate?
They're kicking well, 8-1.
Yeah.
49 to 1 straight 6. Only one behind, kicked in the first half.
Wow. Well, the Cats are just playing out of their skins at the moment, and they didn't have great form, I don't think, coming to the grand final, but they've obviously got a few players back. There might be the odd ringing out there too. That's been known to happen in the grand final day.
No.
And the Tigers, well, they've had a lot of players go through their team over the course of the year too. So, but yeah, hopefully they can get a couple more on the board before half time.
Big whack by Parle down to Baker. Feeds a long hand pass to Parle, who kept running. Can he steady on the left? That is an outstanding effort.
Oh,
he'll kick an
guilty.
absolute beauty. What are you calling it? The goal of the day? You had a name for it earlier.
Well, the Sunbury Rotary Club
The
goal of the
Sunbury
day.
Rotary Club goal of the day by Darty Parle. Did the ruck work, received the hand pass from Baker, who he tapped it down to and just kept running and went bang on the left.
And he was probably one step over the cricket pitch in the middle of the ground here. That's how far the centre of the ground was. And he just went bang. Was it a left boot?
Yeah, it was. 9-1-55 to 1
Impressive
goal.
kick.
The Cats by 49 points.
Number 64.
There he is.
Another auspicious number.
He gets it out. Again to Baker. Baker couldn't quite get control of the footy, lost control of it. And now the Tigers have an opportunity, but it gets bottled up on that outer side. Just on Collingwood, Hutto, they got, I mean, that defence just keeps getting the job done, and it's a it is the most no-name defence of any of the 8 sides in the comp, and probably the most no-name defence with the greatest respect to them,
Yeah, I
of
think
any finals team that I can remember.
if Kennedy comes back, and it looks like he's going to, I can't see them beating West Coast. I just can't see them being able to hold them. But they've got a terrific midfield, and
Yeah.
they've done well this year, so
So many options up
maybe.
forward.
But yeah, I would be tipping West Coast in that game, and I actually don't think West Coast are a great side. They've done a magnificent job this year, but without Gaff, I just can't see them. I can't see them being a genuine premiership threat. But yeah, you make it through to that home preliminary final, and you've got a fighting chance, haven't you?
You certainly do. I mean,
We had Tom Mitchell and Adam Trelaw here yesterday. He came down to have a visit, which was
that's
great.
great.
And they talked a bit about, I mean, obviously they kept pretty quiet really about what they're
is
up to.
Trelaw going to play?
He didn't tell us he was or he wasn't, to be honest with you. But he was down. A couple of his cousins actually play for the Casey Cobras,
Right.
and so he was down.
So you didn't ask him the hard questions, is what you're saying?
Well, I think Brad tried to, or Paul tried to yesterday, and he said, "Stop asking me the hard questions." I'm here to talk about Casey Cobras. So, we did try, but he was keen.
It's a risk, but it's a risk worth taking, I think, if he's fit, because he's such a
Could
good
have
player.
been an exclusive if he had. He's definitely declared himself fit to play.
He tried, I tell you, but he wasn't seeing any of it. I think he wasn't going to give us the exclusive. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
But the reporter in you there, hello,
Yeah.
I see your eyes went wide.
Talking of exclusives, your work colleague is huge exclusive on Mitch McGovern.
Yeah.
Back in June, he said he was leaving, and he is leaving. This is
That's
good
sad.
tackling by the Cats. Their pressure pretty incessant as the Tigers kick towards half forward, but a solid mark taken by Peter Edwards across half back for the Cats. He's kicked to the wing. Nicholson went up and made his opponent wear that one. That happened to be Miles, who goes down for the Tigers, and he's in all sorts of trouble, writhing in pain as the Cats kick it towards half forward. A scrubby ball. It's picked up by Hawking. They'll get a hand pass out now, and looking to steady with another hand pass over the top is Wayall, and he wasn't able to do much there, but in the end, they might have steadied for a goal.
Yeah,
Another one.
over to Reece Hawking. Reece Hawking, and he's put it through for a goal.
We need the trainer for the Tigers to come out here and say good day to our mate. And I think we've got sports medicine Australia here somewhere too. I haven't seen him yet this morning, but they will be around. They can help him out.
Oh, he's in trouble.
Well, you're not going to put the last rights on him, mate. He's not going that badly, is he?
He's SMA. They're going to come out and check him out.
So what's your role at Reclink, Chris?
I'm the Victorian State Manager, so I look after all of our operational work in Victoria, which is great fun. So this is like the highlight of my year, mate, the grand final day.